mean, my mom instilled this wisdom and principle on me, so I'm more so passing her wisdom forward to everybody else. Ultimately, in the most simple way, we're all people, right? We're all capable of doing the same thing. So if you see something that someone else is doing and you want to do that, all it really is going to take is commitment and effort. And that's the most important part is the commitment and effort, because that's what's going to drive you to keep pivoting every time you feel like you failed or every time you feel like you're stalled. It lets you keep maneuvering around whatever barriers are making themselves possible or making themselves present, rather. As you try to continue making these projects come to life, especially, and I love that we're on this now that I think about it, I love that we're on this podcast specifically talking about this because it's a huge aspect of what I love talking about in the creative space. It is the business side of it where not enough of us as creatives take the time or spend the time in the business element of our creative work. And I understand, I respect the aspect of, creativity is art and art is beautiful and art should be cherished and all this stuff. But ultimately, art takes resources to make. So you have to put yourself in a position where you can continue generating the resources you need to create the art you want to create, whether you want to maximize its commercial profitability or if you just want to be able to stay self-sustained. Ultimately, that resource of money, as creatives, we have to build a different relationship with it. Right now, we have such a toxic relationship with the idea of money. And I actually got to give credit to my friend Manny Ventura, who tried to instill that into me a few years back. And it just took a little while to develop. But like, I fully align with that mentality now, where it's not so much about getting rich, it's just about staying alive to make what you want to make. I'm not sure if that fully answered the question.
No, no, no. You're right. You're right on point with that too. No, you're right on point with that too. And even like you were saying, I know you mentioned Manny sewing into you that jewel early on. Like, did you have any people that were pushing you throughout the process, or do you have any mentors or any guides that you usually rely on to help you stay accountable to what you said you're going to do? Like, talk about the process of your support system or your support team when it comes to creative projects.
So it's interesting you asked that. I'm gonna address like the back end of that first, which was about the accountability piece, right? So I don't necessarily have anyone that holds me accountable or any specific people or person I go to. But one thing that I found is that before I used to have a really bad problem with finishing things. Like I would get really excited about starting, get to a certain point, and then just be like, all right, somebody just take it from here because like all of the work is pretty much done. Just wrap it up. And then obviously those never really happen. But over the last 5 or 6 years or so, my commitment to other people's success kind of shifted a bit in a way where now when I work in group projects, which is one of the big things that film allows me to do, it gives me this extra resurgence of energy to finish what we did so I don't let the people around me down. So that accountability is there, but it's less of a dialogue and more of a it just exists, right? Like I can't look these people who work so hard alongside me to get this thing done, and be the person that's not letting it finish or not be a part of whatever it needs to happen to get it finished. On the mentor side, there's a ton of people that I met along the way, no matter where our relationships stand right now, that influence you whether they intend to or not. And I think that's a really key element, especially in my opinion, with the way social media has driven people of the ability to socialize in person. You have to take these moments and these jewels from every conversation you have. Every person you engage with is going to bring something to the table. And if you spend enough time analyzing, and of course you don't want to overanalyze, but if you spend enough time analyzing, every interaction is going to have an impact on how you move forward with whatever it is you're doing, whether it's something as complex as making a film or running for government, obviously comes to mind immediately, or running for or campaigning yourself for that promotion or starting your business, right? You're going to need that extra experience that you get from people when you don't specifically ask about experience. So I think dual fold, I've had people who have stepped in, like Steve Cronin, incredible mentor of mine, who stepped in while I was in high school and was able to kind of help mold the energy I had in high school to help me finish, get through it. There's just so many people that come to mind. Damn, that's crazy. There's so many people that I've had the privilege of working with. George Ortiz, Victorious Ramos, J. Justice Smith, just a lot of people that, again, just in conversation or through direct mentorship, they've been a part of the way that I navigate and succeed, for lack of a better term, with the work I do.
Yeah, no, I love that. We always like to give credence and pay just due flowers and respect to those individuals that have helped us along the way, especially to make a creative project or even any project come to fruition as an entrepreneur, a creative, or a filmmaker. And so, like, even when just a pivot when it comes to funding, because we talk to a lot of entrepreneurs and creatives about like whether they're self-funding, whether they're group funding, or whether they're taking different grants to even fund their projects. Like talk to people about even for this project or any of your big projects that you had to fund, like what are the ways that you fund it, and give people like some steps about how to even fund their own project, like what really goes on behind the scenes after people are able to see the final product. Like do you go over your books to see how much you were able to profit or how much you were